It's finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. My spring's gone on the i3. You just see it there. But I've only just noticed, unfortunately, it's smashed my stabiliser to bits. Look at it. Spring has just bashed right into the stabiliser rod there. On the i3, great car. All the bolts are underneath, which is beautiful, actually. The only downside is the McPherson strut sits extremely deep inside the swivel hub, or the hub, if you like. So I think what we'll do is we'll just pull off this lower wishbone here, and hopefully we can get it out, spread this bad boy open. Need to spread that open, that gap there, and we should be in business. I need an 18mm. The fault finder doing some mechanical work for a change. Long that, innit? But something later. Job done. Great. So, let's get this bolt up first. Right, good. Yes. That way you don't have to take that horrible bracket off, because this is a complete sod to get back on. Right, so stabiliser now, which has been smashed, and then that's we're laughing. Now I'm going to do a reverse job. I'm going to tighten up the ball joint on the Torx and put a spanner on. And believe me, it's the easiest way to do these. I used to do it all the time like that. I don't undo the nut, old BMW way of doing it. If we actually tighten up the ball joint, because it's shagged anyway, and we go the opposite way, it should in theory loosen the nut. Like that. And the ball joint is just completely knackered, so I need to get a new one. You see the spring move then? Because it was actually holding the spring in place, was that? I'd be tempted to actually try and reseal that if it's not damaged it, I'll be honest with you, because, you know, it's just all money at the end of the day, isn't it? Now, unfortunately, I've got to now bash that out without, and the spring is probably going to explode maybe, but maybe not, because it's resting on that piece there. It's resting on the shock absorber, but I don't want to get my hand anywhere near that, believe me. Alright, so let's get the wishbone out at the bottom now. Pull the arm out. So I've got it supported there, take the strain off the steering. Nice thing about the i3, one of the reasons why I love this car, is everything's bolted externally up there, otherwise it'd be too difficult to get to. And what we can do, we can just lean this out now. We just need to open up that with a chisel, which I'll try and do in a minute, and then slide her out the yay way, and then we've got this supported on a nice big rubber block. Nice and easy, hopefully, with a bit of luck. Just throw it in. We get a nice chisel, maybe something like this. Maybe this big one will be good. And from that, we can open it up. I think the small one will do, actually, to be honest. There we are. It's all out. Fantastic. The thing to be mindful with these is when you point it back, there is a locating peg. You can just see it there, and that obviously goes just where the chisel is there, like that. And as you can see, I put the yellow mark there so we can line it back up, and then we can see the ghost line there, that circle. We know we can't go deeper than that. So let's get it on the machine and see how if we can solve this problem today. So this is a really good machine, is this. Now, the way I've got this hooked up, as you can see, there's a safety guard. You can't use this machine without the safety guard. There's a switch on back. It's going to be very difficult. Ordinarily, I might put the top ones on the spring and then the bottom on the lower springs, but because the spring is so smashed into one side, I'm not really going to be able to get it on so easy. So I've actually put it under quite a lot of compression there. So the idea now is we spray the top nut, and then we just air gun that off with a bit of luck. Not really necessary, but you get a good quality like Hoff like this. And just measure. It's a bit OCD, is this. There's probably no need, but if you can measure that to 8.18 mil, I have to just make sure it's zeroed. It is zeroed, so we can zero it and do it again. I know it seems a bit OTT, and you're not going to over tighten it and snap anything. I've already took the top off, which didn't make a blind bit of difference to the spring pressure, because it's kind of jammed. It's hooked underneath there. So what I've done is, you can see it's a little bit looser, that shocker. I've changed the top to these hook devices so it won't slip out, and I'm just essentially just trying to put enough upward pressure on that I can free it off at the bottom there. Probably just a screwdriver job, innit? It happens sometimes when it's caught there, you see. Can you see? So luckily I was able to pry it off there, and in theory just slide it off like that now, screw it off like a corkscrew. Can't get these wrong as a locating peg. Just like that. Get our spring on now. What I'm most happy with is that the swivel bearing is actually quite reasonable. It's very smooth under pressure. When I'm pushing on it, it's really smooth, which is amazing. 160,000 kilometers. Spring has damaged that, but I ain't paying for a new one 40-50 quid. So what we'll do with that is we'll get the grips and we'll just straighten it up. All it is a collar, isn't it? I'm not messing about. It's my own car. If it was a customer's car, of course I'd be changing that, but I'm just going to straighten that up. So that's right, mate, innit? So that'll do. Okay, you could epoxy resin that if you wanted. You know, we're not made of money, are we? We do what we can do. Just a quick one. When you're putting these bump stops in here, don't be tempted to clean it out too much. The reason is quite simple. On BMWs, they tend to fall out these a lot. So be really smart. Just push it in and twist at the same time and get it all level. And it goes in dead tight like that. And the reason for that is they do fall out. So let the corrosion, in this case, look at corrosion, like bloody hell. Let the corrosion be your best friend, I always say. Right, so at this point, we're done, aren't we? We can build it back up on the vehicle. I've asked them to order me a new stabiliser rod. And it's all ready to go back on the car now. Yeah, straight on it stops. It's lined up with our original marks. Now we just got to get it off the block and get it in. It'll do the job, guys and gals, won't it? I could have done. I'm just trying to basically get that locating peg in there, you see. Tell you what, I'm bloody well glad that's in, boys and girls. Tell you what, these Worth ratchets are worth the weight in gold. It's tempting to go with an air gun and a spanner on this, but take it from me, you'll snap this swivel up. Well, it's not really a swivel, but it's just a hub. But basically, I've seen a lad where I used to work snap one of these, just snap it right down there. You can measure the gap on the other side. You can measure that gap compared with the other side. But as long as you lock it off, it's right. Don't try and close that gap. Don't try and close the gap. There is a torque setting for this. That's enough for me. I'm all right with that. Not gonna fall out, is it? Put all your brake harness back on your ABS sensor. Don't skip this, don't be lazy. Oh, I'll just leave it in. You'll snap it, you'll break it. Not so bad if it's a brake sensor. Go to Schmieben and get one for a couple of quid. But if it's an ABS sensor, it's gonna set you back 70 quid on it. And at the end of the day, everything's rising in cost. You want to minimise the cost by not effing things up. Basically, that's the idea of the game, isn't it? All you need is a pair of Nipex like that. Straighten it up a bit and then pop it on. Schnapple, popple, schnapple. Oh, look at that. Sexy. Right, so it's done. Just going to torque the wheels up now. I'm not cut out for this mechanical stuff anymore. Until next time. Maybe some more fault finding, but it made a nice change, didn't it? A bit of mechanical stuff, but I'll tell you what, I don't half miss the mechanical stuff. But then again, it's hard work. I'm nearly 50, aren't I? See you later.